welcome to Run of Show. It's a podcast where I go behind the scenes of the event industry, one story at a time. This season we're focusing on Day of, so today we're talking with Judy from Just Judy's Flowers, and we have Ray Dawn with us here today. We are going to talk all about flowers. First of all, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am a second generation florist. I started in Lake Charles, Louisiana. My mom and my aunt had bought a little shop, and it had a flower shop in it. It was a furniture store, and it had flowers there. So I learned, I learned how to do flowers from a fabulous lady, Irene Matoya. So I started doing flowers there. I'm a Louisiana licensed florist, and then I moved to Pensacola after I graduated from college, where I went to work at a flower shop here that was like the premier flower shop in Pensacola, Flower Fashions.
What made you choose Pensacola?
My girlfriend and I wanted to move. We didn't want to stay in Lake Charles. We were looking at either going to Dallas, or I had a girlfriend that lived over here that I went to college with, so we came and stayed with her for a month while her husband was offshore, and she got a job, I got a job, and started working.
So here you are.
And so here I am. I was working at Flower Fashions, and somewhere along the course of my life, I kind of got out of flowers, and I started running the Nina Fritz Gallery in Cordova Mall, and and then I had been working at Gayfers and Dillard's, and then back to Gayfers and Dillard's, bought out Gayfers, and then so after working for Dillard's for a while, that's when I started working at the Nina Fritz Gallery. And
I love Nina Fritz.
I do too, but it just wasn't enough for both of us. You know, I should have been the artist with my own little shop, you know, kind of thing, and that wasn't me. So I said I was going to open a flower shop. That was in 2008 that I opened Just Judy's Flowers with the help of my father. And my husband was the delivery driver at Flower Fashions.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So my first Valentine's, my mom and my aunt came. My mom was the coordinator of all the deliveries. My aunt waited on the customers. My husband and my son did all the deliveries, and my daughter pulled all the flowers.
Family business.
And that was a family first Valentine's. So
so you just always loved flowers, it seems.
I ever since I was a kid, I guess I did some flowers at my aunt's house. So,
So sweet.
And my mom still had that arrangement. That was probably when I was like 10. But so I've always kind of been a mama's flower child.
I love that flower child. And so what brings you to, are you a local here to Pensacola?
I am.
Okay.
Actually, 7th generation Floridian, Pensacola. My dad was a genealogist,
Local.
so he did that. Yeah. So my son's 8th and my granddaughter's 9th. So we're embedded in Pensacola pretty much.
Yeah.
My mom bought a flower shop, and she wanted me to come work for her, so I did.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it ever since, like 30 plus years. I've moved around some, but it's always been in flowers, from Tallahassee to Jacksonville to Georgia to.
So you love the South.
So I do, and flowers. Flowers. That's a passion.
Yeah.
When you get into it, you're just stuck in it. You're kind of like you don't want to go because it's you get to use all your artistic talents in in a different medium. So I like that.
So she came to me about 10 years ago.
Okay. 10 years. That's a long time. Yeah. So you
Crazy.
love flowers and you love each other.
Yeah.
You got to after 10 years. That's a real relationship.
Yeah, a lot of stuff. Yeah, you go through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was truly blessed when she started working here. She's an amazing designer.
Oh.
That's one of the things I've been finding as I'm doing these interviews is that the people who are the professionals, it's part of their life. It's part of the fabric of things that they've done.
It really is part of your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have that real passion for it.
And I don't think you really realize how much it's a part of your life. I went to a family, close friend's funeral, and you know how they have the pictures that show. Well, when I'm sitting there looking at the pictures, I saw corsages that I had made for the daughters when they, and wedding bouquets. So like I was like all entwined through flowers with this family that was pretty close, but and the flowers were all a part of them. So it's really, you don't realize that how much you're embedded in the society with the flowers.
I love that. And so Just Judy's Flowers opened when?
I opened in 2008.
Okay, at this location?
At this location. My husband still helps me deliver like on holidays.
Okay.
I have to pull him in every once in a while.
Yeah. Oh God.
Bring back the memories.
Husbands and kids, right?
Yeah,
Free
yeah.
labor.
So we've been married 36 years. We have 2 kids
Oh.
and I have 2 grandkids, and just a real part of Pensacola.
Right.
Yeah.
Just Judy's Flowers. So you do. Tell me what services you provide here.
Well, we're a full-service florist, brick and mortar shop. So you can walk in and pick out something out of the cooler, take it with you. You can call ahead, have us make an order specifically for you. You can be specific on what you need, or just leave it to our wonderful designers to create something beautiful for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll have that ready for you to pick up. And then we do deliveries throughout the Pensacola and surrounding areas. We do weddings. Our passion is the helping people when they pass away, getting their flowers out for them, and
Yeah, I would say our passion is creating the vision that the customer came in.
Right.
Everyone comes in with their own vision,
Right.
how they expect it to look and would like something to look, whether it's a funeral or an event or a wedding.
And you help bring that to life. I love that.
And then we help bring that to life.
Yeah. Speaking of events, and that's how I got to know you, is the Sapphire Soiree for the Center for Independent Living. Just had their 45th anniversary, yeah. And we had Just Judy's Flowers. We had all these yellow roses on the table, and I'm telling you what, it gave it that beautiful pop of color. So thank you very much for providing that for the soiree. It really did.
so well.
Yeah, and then we got to give those roses away at the end of the evening, so they got
Nice.
They take it home with them and remember. So I love that too, because flowers can be a keepsake. Actually, speaking of keepsakes, what are your best tips for keeping flowers if you're going to preserve them to keep?
It's a process. You have to be prepared ahead of time to contact a company that's going to, they call it freeze drying. So it's not the freezer, but it's a silica gel stuff, and it takes time. You have to be ready to ship your bouquet off to that company.
What are some things they can do to make sure that it makes it to the company in one piece?
Well, if they get with the company ahead of time, they give them all the instructions.
Oh, okay.
How to package it up, send it to them. So that's one way, and that preserves the bouquet. The other way is there's companies that do pressing. So you can send it, and they'll press it into a kind of a shadow box, flat.
Right, kind of a picture with the petals and the inside a shadow box. All pressed.
I've never seen that. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Everlasting
really
Flowers is one
Yeah.
of the companies, but it is a process, and you have to be prepared. And I think it can cost.
Right. But that's a memory. That's something like
That would
your
last.
wedding bouquet, maybe.
Right.
Because you give one to throw away, but then you keep yours.
Right.
Yeah.
And pictures help with the memory too.
Right.
They-
Yeah.
they can do it. Now people have lots of pictures at weddings. And stuff,
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I found people fall into that trap of taking all the pictures and never printing them out.
know.
I think that is
The album stopped when the cell phones
Yeah.
captured all the photos.
That's good to have a photographer, which we'll be covering on another with Lico. We'll be talking about photography. You gotta
Very important.
very important. I tell you what, your phones take really great pictures, but a photographer
It's
knows
not
how
the
to-
same.
It's not the same as a photographer.
If you have a talented photographer,
Yeah.
it's just head and shoulders different.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely. So tell me about a time that an event just went super great, wonderful, and it's one of those that you remember.
So we have a gal that works for us. Occasionally, I've known her. Her daughter and my daughter were the 4th grade partners. So it was like when my daughter was in 4th grade, my daughter was in 8th, the girl was in 4th, and they partnered together. So Susan happened into the shop, and we talked her into coming to work.
Oh yeah.
So her daughter got married, and Ray Dawn worked with her, and it was.
I mean, she's fabulous. Her personality, that can help make an event and a wedding, the personality of the people. Her daughter, the bride, she was fabulous. Both of them have great attitudes. But the funny part, when we were doing a consultation, Susan brought out a book, which a lot of people do, that has the seating chart where the tables and the bistro tables and everything. But Susan went a step further, where she cut out the flowers, and she cut out the candles, and she
And the venue. It
We
was
went
like
from
paper dolls.
consultation to paper dolls.
Okay.
But that's how important the wedding was to her.
Yeah.
She brought a lot of eclectic family heirlooms, so there were brass and glass and copper and all kinds of different candelabras. And then, we had to put everything together. Well, the whole shop was involved. So everyone was out there. It was a beautiful day. Everyone was in a good mood. Everyone was, putting it all together. It looked like a scene out of a movie because you had all the vendors, you had tents going up, and you had tables going out, and you had chairs going, like everybody was moving around.
Guests were invited?
She had about 150.
Yeah.
About 150, yes. So then we get all this going, and then I tasked Judy with all the eclectic containers to make flowers for.
So I had this on my table. I had all these little containers. I mean,
they're all different.
All different, and I'm looking at it going, "Oh my God, what do I have here?" So it took me a minute to kind of say, "Okay, I need to make groups," and I put them in little groups because there's 10 tables and there's like 50 of these little containers.
Yeah.
And then I made them. I actually drew pictures out after I put them together, so I knew where I was going to put them on the tables and how I was going to place them. And so all the tables in the center were each different with a little cluster of flowers with candelabras and candlesticks and things like that made each table unique and different. So that was the fun part.
Yeah, that was a fun.
It started out like, oh my God, what do we have? And then it turned out to be, oh my God, this is gorgeous.
Yeah, unique.
Yeah, unique.
And eclectic.
Yeah. But the flowers she picked were all just top of the line, beautiful, ranunculus, peonies, roses, hydrangeas. Like it was just walking into a garden.
It's kind of
a
gardening palette with the
corals peaches and pinks and some light blue, just some other things thrown in. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah. What is the thing that you think sticks out the most from that event? What was your favorite part?
Well, I took a picture of the bride, and I know the photographer is supposed to take it, but it was when I handed her the bouquet. And the gal that made the bouquet was making, what was Tracy making over there? She was doing the cake topper. And so she's sitting over there finishing off the cake topper, and when I handed her the bouquet and said she had, Tracy did it, she just turned to her and just like, I love it. And then I snapped a picture of her that I don't think the photographer touched that look because that was the first time she'd seen the bouquet.
Right.
And the photographer wasn't there to capture that. But I got that one.
Oh, I love that.
That was what stood out for me.
Yeah.
That was your best event. Tell me about the worst event when things just went horribly wrong.
So I can't pinpoint just one in particular, but the most difficult we have is time. It's always coordinating time. It's trying to make sure you're going to be at get the reception set up, get the wedding bouquets. We did one at Old Christ Church.
Right, and you're going to more than one place, so flowers had to be dropped off at the church, and then they had to be dropped off at a bridal suite over here, and then some had to go over to the reception, and then some of that at the bridal suite wound up having to go to her second bridal suite for her next photography session. So, and you have to be at all these places, at the time that they want them to be there. So you're not just setting something up and then walking away. And then 9 times out of 10, even after you've gotten everything out and you think you're done, you have to go back that night, 11, 12 o'clock at night, and then you have to pull all your stuff back and put it in the van and come back to the shop. And so you're getting done at 1 or 2 in the morning.
That's when you recruit the husbands of the kids.
And for me, the one that really sticks out was I did one down at Seville Quarter where the cake person was late. And I had to do flowers at the top, in the center, in the next center, and around the bottom. So I still had to decorate this whole cake. So she got there like a half an hour before the reception was supposed to start. She still had to put the cake together. And I'm literally putting the last flowers on this cake as I'm as the people are coming in the door, I'm moving all my stuff out the door this way. And so, you know, it's making sure, I guess one of the things that we learned from this is just always making sure if the coordinator has not reached out to us, that we're reaching out to make sure that we know what time to be where, you know, because that's the most important thing. Yeah.
What are some things that you wish people knew before hiring you? Those things you're like, man, if they had just knew this, if they just knew this, it would just make my life so much easier.
Well, I guess is, you know, they send us pictures, and those pictures are photoshopped. Those pictures,
artificial flowers. And they don't even realize it's artificial flowers, so they're turned in different ways that you can do an artificial flower, but you can't do a fresh flower.
So when they're searching Pinterest and things like that, if they had a little more education, just, you know, on what a flower really looks like,
right?
You know, versus what's been done with AI or whatever. We've had some of those too.
Yeah.
And then just in general for the shop, we do send flowers out of town, and people are out of town trying to send flowers in town, or even in town trying to send, and they're shopping on the internet, and there's a lot of order gatherers out there that are picking up, and like they're pretending to be a local florist. And you put your order in with them. Well, they're going to charge you a fee. And if you ask for it for morning, they're going to charge an extra fee for that. They're going to use one of the big order gatherers, like, you know, the ones we're familiar with. And, the ones we're familiar with. And they're going to turn around and send that to the brick and mortar shop. So these guys are just in a little office. They don't have a shop per se. And they're gathering these orders and then sending them out. So I don't belong to any of the
because they all take their
big
their money off of the top. So by the time you got the order, you are looking at something. Say you received $50 for the order, where the person paid $100.
Right.
But by the time this person got theirs and that person got theirs, and some came out for delivery, what you actually wind up with for the arrangement is nothing like what the person that ordered it thought they were getting.
Right.
So we don't.
Make sure you're calling a local shop.
Absolutely,
yeah,
and
that's the takeaway.
And if you don't know, how to make sure you've got a local shop, you just need to go past all the ads, and like maybe into Google Maps, and you look at the list of local florists and make sure there's a physical address, and then ask them when you call. Are you a brick and mortar shop?
That's good too.
Yep.
So tell me, what is your favorite thing about doing flowers? What is your real passion that makes you come to work every day?
I work for a good boss.
Oh, I love it.
I work with great people.
Loyalty. I love it.
And then we have great customers. You know, they come in and they just are, they trust us. They are so sweet when they say, look, I trust you, just do your thing. They order something online. They've been using us so they order on our website. We have a website where they can order. And then maybe we don't have
the website.
It's justjudysflowers.com, and we may not have that exact flower. So we take the time to call a customer up and say, we're going to have to make a substitute. We don't just surprise them.
Right, good.
You know, so we want to make them aware that container's not available. Are we okay with going with this container? This plant's not available. Can we go with this plant? Or, you know.
And they know us so well. They're just like,
look, I trust y'all.
Something, you know, just whatever you do. And a lot of times we send them pictures when we change something out, just so they know. And they're always, that's gorgeous. Good job. Thank you.
What are the trends that you see going on in the flower industry right now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because it just kind of always circles around. It's like flowers that
I want to know if there's like one trend. There are people that have certain expectations when they order. Certain people want something gardeny, and some people want a high style arrangement. And, you know, I mean, so it's kind of like that. As far as an actual trend in just everyday flowers, I would say there's not one.
Okay.
Trending in bouquets and stuff, they have kind of gone back to a medium cascade We, do the handhelds, but I've noticed that not the big long ones that we did in the 70s, but something, kind of medium cascade. I would say that's the only thing I know that's really trending.
Like in wedding bouquets.
Like wedding bouquets.
So it was the messy bouquet.
Oh.
We called it for a while, where you put a lot of eucalyptus and flowers just shoot out everywhere.
Oh.
And
do you like those?
They can be pretty.
Yeah.
That they can, get out of control. I've seen pictures of some where they actually use this like a plastic cage thing that goes like this, and they're like this wide, and you're like, you can't see the bride.
Oh gosh, or the beautiful dress.
Yeah, or the beautiful
Or
dress.
the dress you paid for, right?
But yes, there is some trend to that more structured bouquet that's like a cascade. So that's kind of what
I've heard too. The advice for weddings is that flowers can get really expensive, and so they say you can mix and match fake flowers because they photograph just as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone's going to mix and match artificial flowers with real flowers, where do you say they should invest in the real flowers? What pieces should have the real flowers?
Well, I know so hydrangeas are a favorite. They're a good base flower, and that's great if they're not getting married like out on the beach or something like that. So sometimes an artificial hydrangea can look just as real, especially since it's basing underneath and it won't wilt on them. And then they can put the other kind of flowers in there. There are some little filler flower that can be kind of expensive that you like, anemones. There's some really pretty silk ones in that, but that doesn't necessarily cut cost.
No,
because a high quality silk flower could be
more expensive.
Oh really? Oh
yeah.
Good to know. So that tells me everything right there, because that's what I heard. And see, and those are one of the things, the myths that people hear out there. And then you come to the professionals, are like, no, well,
right. If you want it to look real, they can be expensive.
They can be expensive.
Yeah, we have done some beautiful. Now, one of the things that's very popular is some of the bleached flowers, like bunny tails and the pampas grass and things like that. So that's kind of been a popular trend.
That would be trending right now too. They add the dried elements to the fresh flowers.
Okay.
So they're technically real. They were once real.
Right, but they've been
now. They've been dried. Okay. They've been bleached. So they may be white. They may be natural. So there may be a little different shades of all these dried flowers incorporated in with fresh flowers. And so you can have something that actually still, like you can take the fresh flowers out and still have a bouquet of the dried to put in a vase at home.
I have a rapid fire round where I'm going to shoot some questions at you, but before we get into that, tell me what's the best way for people to get a hold of you?
Well, call us, 850-436-4003. They can jump on the website and place an order right there. It's a same day delivery. There's a cutoff time at like 2, and then that's probably the best way.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so rapid fire. What is your favorite type of event to do?
Mine's wedding.
I guess it's weddings. I mean, I also love to do those, the funeral. Where they want the whole look, the casket, the sprays, and incorporating parts of that signify the family. Like maybe there's 5 roses in the casket piece that signify the 5 children, and then there's the piece that's done for the grandchildren and the great grandchildren. I did this for my father, so it was just kind of to me, those kind of things where you can really help the family.
I did a farmer's one time, and we had kale and lettuce and carrots, and the actual hoe that he had used out in his garden, we had it going across, and then all the stuff coming out.
Neat.
So you can really individualize that stuff.
So what is your favorite type of vendor to work with? What makes your job easier?
A good wedding coordinator can make it easy, for an event.
Right.
And then working with some of the funeral homes in town, we actually work hand in hand with some of the funeral directors.
Coordinator director, Yeah. So make sure you hire a good one.
And then our suppliers, you know,
Okay.
because here we like to make sure that our flowers are in quality, good shape, but we are dealing with a perishable product.
Right.
And sometimes we don't know there's an issue with a flower that goes out the door until the customer calls, but we always turn around and make it right by sending out something else. But if there's something that the supplier sends us that we absolutely know, they're very good to let us bring it back, they replace it, you know, so we're on top of the quality of our flowers.
So what's your number one tip for brides who are picking out their flowers?
Mine is to do their homework before they get here. So they know their color palette, they have a few flowers in there they know they want to see introduced into their bouquet. The bride that comes in that hasn't done anything and sits there and thinks that you're going to, you know, coordinate her whole wedding and all her flowers for her, we generally have to tell her.
You almost have to create a vision for her.
We have to,
and
yeah, a lot
it's
of
like
times
pulling.
tell her, yeah, we can start like this, but why don't you go and now now that you have something started, look and see what you like, what flowers you like. And 90% of the time they'll change everything, the color palette and all, because then they've taken time to, okay, this is my wedding, I need to really figure out what I want.
We do give them a good tool, because when they do call us about, you know, getting their flowers, before we'll sit with them or consult with them, we send them out a pre-consultation form that asks questions like your color palette,
Right.
your dress style,
Get 'em thinking
you know,
about it.
and they fill all that out with all the items that they want, and then we'll ask them to send us inspirational photos,
Right.
and then based off of that, we're able to build a quote for them.
But inspirational photos, but do your research on those photos. make
Yeah,
make sure
yeah.
it's real flowers, not AI.
But we can work with those
And we
too.
even tell them that that we can do this look. It's just going to be with slightly different.
Yeah.
But way better than, you know, it looks like this on Pinterest and it looks like this when I did it. It's a little bit better than that, me doing it at home. Get the professionals to do it because they're going to get as close as they can to it.
I can't tell you how many times I've had brides that have tried to do it themselves
Right.
that have popped in, or my aunt was going to do it and then now
Right.
she's not, and they're scrambling at the last minute.
Right. Oh, goodness. I always say anything worth doing is worth paying someone to do it. I'll tell you what. So give me your tagline now.
Just Judy's Flowers, your floral professionals.
Love it. I love it. Thank you so much for being on the show. And this podcast is going to be everywhere that people listen to podcasts. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, everywhere that your favorite podcast is. And if you want to see our beautiful faces, it will also be on YouTube. So stay tuned for more, everyone. And thank you both for joining me on the show today.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.